Hola, bienvenidos al podcast del futuro. Welcome, I'm Senora Stanias, and in this podcast we will be talking about the future tense in Spanish. Students will be able, at the end of this podcast, to understand and use the future tense in written and spoken Spanish. Please have your grammar packet with you as you go through this podcast to write down notes and examples, and also to write down perhaps any questions you might have. We already have learned ways to express the near future in Spanish. We are now going to be looking at how to form and use the future tense. In Spanish, the future is a simple tense that consists of one word, whereas in English, it is made up of the auxiliary verb will or shall and the main verb. So we're going to look at this. All the regular verbs in Spanish form the future by the infinitive, adding one of the future endings, the correct person, and that's it. So it's one word. Here are the endings as well as the example with viajar. So yo viajaré. Tú viajarás. Él, ella, usted viajará. Nosotros viajaremos. Vosotros viajaréis. Ustedes, ellas, ellos viajarán. Note that all future tense endings have a written accent on the ending except the nosotros form. Now, these are the future endings the same for regular and irregular verbs. However, again, the regular verbs simply add the endings to the infinitive. For this next group of irregular verbs, you have to add the endings to the irregular stem. And here they are. I'm going to do them in two sets. So the first set we have, these are the endings. Cabré, habré, podré, querré, and sabré. Notice I put an accent by habré because that will be the future form for the helping verb when we get to that point later in this unit. The second set, these are the irregular stems. We have diré, haré, pondré, saldré, tendré, valdrá, vendré. And I put valdrá instead of the yo form because that would mean to be worth, valer. So you usually use it when talking about something else. So it will be worth such and such money. So el reloj valdrá $100, por ejemplo. Más información importante. Again, haber, I said before, would be habré, but you'll be most often using habrá when you want to use that future form, there will be. Habrá muchas personas en la clase mañana. For example, there will be many people. La próxima semana habrá 2 reuniones. Por ejemplo. Although the English word will can refer to future time, we can also use that will when we want to talk about somebody's willingness to do something. So in those situations like, will you call me? We don't use this future form. In Spanish, we'll use querer and the infinitive. So for example, ¿quieres llamarme, por favor? ¿Quieren ustedes escucharnos, por favor? We need to talk about something called the future of probability. In Spanish, the future tense does have an additional use. It can be used to express conjecture or probability. The English equivalent for that would be if you want to say I wonder, I bet, must be, may, might, probably. These are all translated into Spanish using the future tense, and it's considered a future of probability. ¿Dónde estarán mis llaves? Estarán en la cocina. ¿Qué hora será? Serán las 11 o las 12. Note that although the future tense is used, these verbs really express conjecture about present conditions, events, or actions. That's that probability. All right, finally, the future can be used with the present subjunctive. The future may be used in a main clause or sentences in which the present subjunctive follows a conjunction of time, such as cuando, después de que, en cuanto, hasta que, and tan pronto como. And here are just some examples, and we'll get to more in class. Cuando llegues a la oficina, hablaremos. Saldremos tan pronto como termine su trabajo. This concludes this podcast on the future tense. Be sure and complete the Google Docs that you will find at the end of this podcast. Gracias y hasta mañana.